We hear a lot of the bad stories that are going on with the bank. We hear a lot of what went wrong and what is still going wrong. What's going right with the banks today? What are they doing well? What have they learned from the crisis that's gone into their practices? And any specific examples you know?
Let's see. So I think in terms of what they're doing right, I think a lot of it we're 2013 now, so we're 5 years out from the heart of the crisis. So I think of a lot of what has gone right is just really the recovery effort. So a terrible thing to compare it to, but the BP oil spill, you had this great recovery effort of basically dredging out the oil and cleaning up all of the area that was damaged and destroyed by the spill. And in a similar way, this is what the banks have had to do. I mean, they're dredging up. You hear toxic loans, and I mean you've kind of got a similar thing that way. So you've got cleaning up of the balance sheets, you've got cleaning up of business practices, you've got closing lines of business that were ill-incented and not really managed well, and they've gotten rid of those and disbanded those. And for banks like JP Morgan and Wells Fargo that made big acquisitions during the crisis, and actually a lot of the smaller regionals, like I mentioned, PNC has made some acquisitions in the post-crisis era. You've seen a lot of this combination and integration, taking some struggling banks that the FDIC in some cases had to step in and stop, and then sell their operations. So you've had a lot of this kind of survival of the fittest and integrating into stronger banks. So those are positives. Now what we're going to start to look for, so that was the cleanup effort, and now 2013 on, we're going to see some more cleanup effort, but what investors are going to have to start to look for is now the real growth and the recovery, and at the same time, banks learning their lessons, making conservative loans, and sticking to those conservative loans. It's not going to be that way forever. Eventually, an environment will get overheated again. People will do stupid things, but investors are going to want to focus on the banks that have managers and have a vision, a culture in place that leads to doing the right things and staying a conservative organization. Wells Fargo is a great example of a bank that was that and is that. Hopefully they continue to be that, but investors want to look for, if they're going to own a bank for 10, 20, 30 years, that's the kind of bank that they want to look for.